When you're ready to pop the question, the last thing you want to do is second-guess the ring. At BlueNile.com, you can find the perfect ring for her with guidance from Blue Nile's jewelry experts who are on-hand 24/7 and the ease and convenience of shopping online. For a limited time, BlueNile.com is offering 36-month special financing on minimum purchases of $1,000. Restrictions apply. See BlueNile.com for details. That's BlueNile.com. BlueNile.com.
On today's Smart 7, a ceasefire takes effect in Gaza, riots in Dublin after tragedy and much more. It's Friday 24th of November, it's Black Friday and happy birthday, Billy Connolly.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
The ink was barely dry on Chancellor Jeremy Hunt's autumn statement when more bad news dropped on the cost of living. Households can expect a rise in energy prices in the new year as the Ofgem price cap is set to increase by 5%. The ongoing wars in Ukraine and the Middle East has seen oil and gas prices rise again, and because the UK is dependent on foreign energy sources, it's at the mercy of the prices that the market are charging. Jonathan Braley is the CEO of energy regulator Ofgem, and he says in the current global climate there may not be good news anytime soon.
What I say to customers, what I say to everyone, is we need to prepare for prices to be roughly at this level and for the market to respond to those unexpected events in different ways.
The aftermath of the autumn statement has seen questions asked about the so-called fiscal drag caused by the government's decision to freeze tax allowances, and there's been a focus on the impact of new back-to-work social welfare rules too. But the Chancellor says that his statement has given priority to businesses and that his focus remains on long-term growth.
There is going to be a very clear choice as a result of the decisions that I made. There is a very big difference between the Conservative approach and the Labour approach. And why, in the end, do people vote Conservative at elections? It's because they trust us to make decisions for the long-term growth of the economy.
A 4-day ceasefire in Israel's war on Hamas began at 5 a.m. UK time as preparations continue for the exchange of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners. There are 13 women and children in the first group to be released, and the IDF began notifying their families on Thursday evening. Dr. Majed Al-Ansari, Qatar's spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, announced the details of the deal.
The beginning of the pause will be 7 a.m. Friday, and it will last for 4 days. And the first batch of civilians to be released will be around 4 p.m. of the same day.
Israel has vowed that when the ceasefire ends, there will be at least another 2 months of fighting as they continue with their mission to eliminate Hamas. The UK's new Foreign Secretary, Lord David Cameron, was in Israel on Thursday, where he met with the Israeli Prime Minister and also travelled to Ramallah, the headquarters of the Palestinian Authority. He then visited a kibbutz where over 100 people were killed in the October 7th attack.
The terrorism, children shot in front of their parents. I've heard things and seen things that obviously I will never forget, and it's important we understand that.
Rishi Sunak has been busy making promises to stop the boats, but it appears he may have forgotten about the airports. New figures from the Office of National Statistics show that net migration has seen the population rise by 745,000 in 2022. The growth in population has partly been driven by the arrival of overseas professionals here to work in the NHS and care homes, but former Home Secretary Suella Braverman described the figures as a slap in the face to the British public. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer says that the numbers reflect poorly on Rishi's government.
That figure is shockingly high, and it represents a failure not just of immigration but also of the economy, because within that figure there's a huge increase in work visas, which shows the government hasn't done what it needs to do on skills.
Dublin city centre was set alight on Thursday evening by a mob of what appeared to be far-right protesters. A Garda car, a bus and a tram were all set on fire as protesters shot fireworks at police and looted shops on Dublin's O'Connell Street. The riots came after a tragic incident that saw 3 young children and a woman in her 30s stabbed. A man was also injured in the incident, and police say that he is a person of interest in the attack. That attack led to local protests that escalated when far-right elements began causing trouble. The riot squad were deployed to clear the city centre, and Garda Commissioner Drew Harris says the scenes have been disgraceful.
We have a complete lunatic hooligan faction driven by far-right ideology, and also then this disruptive tendency here, and engaged then in serious violence.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Red Bull are making mischief and Girls Aloud head back on tour. Right after this.
When you're ready to pop the question, the last thing you want to do is second-guess the ring. At BlueNile.com, you can find the perfect ring for her with guidance from Blue Nile's jewelry experts who are on-hand 24/7 and the ease and convenience of shopping online. For a limited time, BlueNile.com is offering 36-month special financing on minimum purchases of $1,000. Restrictions apply. See BlueNile.com for details. That's BlueNile.com. BlueNile.com.
Welcome back.
This weekend sees the final Grand Prix of the season as Formula One heads to Abu Dhabi. There's not much to be decided as Red Bull and Max Verstappen have had the Constructor and Drivers' Championships sewn up for some time, but Red Bull's Christian Horner was still busy causing mischief, suggesting that someone from Lewis Hamilton's camp had inquired about the possibility of the 7-time world champion taking a seat at Red Bull. Lewis says that's not a story he recognises.
I don't really understand what he's been talking about because I haven't spoken to Christian in years. However, he did reach out to me earlier in the year about meeting up. That's it. I just congratulated him on an amazing year and said hopefully soon I'll be able to fight against you guys in the near future. That was it. So I'm not really sure. I think he's just stirring things.
The iconic pop group Girls Aloud are celebrating 21 years since they first came together on Popstars The Rivals back in 2002. They went on to become the most successful girl group of the noughties and still hold a record for 20 top 10 singles in a row. They got back together briefly last year as part of a fundraiser and tribute to bandmate Sarah Harding, who died of breast cancer 2 years ago. Now they're hitting the road in 2024 for an anniversary tour, but they're still missing bandmate Sarah.
I do think of that energy every minute. I'm like, there's definitely something missing.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you miss most about her?
Everything. You never quite knew what you were going to get with Sarah, but it was always impactful.
We always talk about like how much she loved Girls Aloud. Yeah. She loved it.
There was a series of unexpected guests on BBC Breakfast on Thursday morning.
BBC Breakfast is now under cyber control. Destroy them. Destroy them at once.
They were the tinfoil hat-wearing loonies known as the Cybermen, and it was all part of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary celebrations. There was also a visit from the Daleks and some very confused local newsreaders. The main event is the first of 3 brand new episodes featuring the return of David Tennant briefly as Doctor Who. It's called The Star Beast, and it drops on Saturday.
Please be my friend.
They can't talk.
Please. Poor little things, but no voice.
Oh, look, it's just my little homemade business. You've got stuffing inside.
Hey, you pulled its tummy out.
No, keep it down. Don't be so loud.
I want to go home. The meat is all over.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
How powerful is the Cox network? So powerful that one day, the internet will let your doctor perform miracles from thousands of miles away.
Connecting to remote operating room.
Giving a whole new meaning to the term house call.
Operation complete.
The Cox network. With gig speeds everywhere. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, bringing us closer. In Cox serviceable areas, speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms apply. Other restrictions may apply.
Israel is 5,690 miles away from the U.S., 11 hours by plane. Hate travels faster. In a comment, in a post, in a second. Jewish hate is up 388% in the U.S. Black hate, Muslim hate, and Asian hate are up too. When one hate rises, they all do. Let's stand up to all hate together. Share and wear the blue square from standuptojewishhate.org.